Good afternoon. I'd like to do maybe what you could call a 2-for-1 cartridge talk. Uh, I like old vintage rifle cartridges and everything and vintage rifles. And this one is one that I bet you a bunch of y'all have heard about. They've been around a while. The second one has not been around quite as long and was not near as popular. But this particular round is one that I'm sure that a lot of people are going to recognize. This is the 6.5 by 52 millimeter Mannlicher Carcano. Now, the Mannlicher Carcano uses a .267 bullet, which is different from almost all the other 6.5s. I think maybe the 6.5 Dutch also use that particular thing, because basically the 6.5 by 53R Dutch Mannlicher and this are about the same, except the Dutch has got a semi-rim on the bottom of it. It was used in a slightly different rifle. Why they put a rim on it, I don't know. But they wanted one and they got one. This thing uses a 160 grain round nose bullet at approximately 2,300 feet a second. And that's going to develop about 1,800 foot-pounds of energy. Now, that's about the same as almost every other 6.5 of the era. The 6.5 Swede, 6.5 Arisaka, 6.5 by 53 Dutch Mannlicher, the 6.5 by 54 Mannlicher, and several other ones that were out there. They were all shooting, the ones that were shooting the 160 grain round nose. Now remember that the Swedes eventually changed to 140 grain, and a lot of other people did. Why? Because it was a pointy tip bullet. But I don't think the Carcano ever went to that design. They stuck with the round nose bullet pretty much the whole time. Now, that was the rifle and round that was associated with the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And they brought tons of them things around into the country, and a lot of people use them to hunt with. And you can still get sporting ammunition in 6.5 Carcano. It's not super prevalent, but PPU makes it, and I think Norma makes it, and RWS, and a few other companies do make it. You can find it. You may have to order it online, but it's not totally unobtainium. Now, this round's sister, remember, this is from 1891. In 1938, right before the start of World War II, this little puppy came out. This is the same basic case, but instead of being chambered in 6.5, this is the 7.35 by 51. Now, what is it? Well, they wanted a 30 caliber rifle that would be a, quote, improved version of the 6.5. So they took the same case. See, it's got the little indentations in the back of it to catch the bullet behind it, kind of thing. And they came out with this, and it used a 128 grain 30 caliber bullet. But instead of being a 30 caliber bullet like what we normally think of as a 30 caliber bullet, not 38, as a 30 caliber bullet, instead of .308, it is .300. So that's some rare fruit right there. I don't know of anybody who makes a .300 bullet. I would suppose you probably have to either order it from a manufacturer or a company that specializes in odd bullet sizes, because, or either you got a friend with a hydraulic press and you get a swaging die from Corbin or something. But you would need to swage them down, because you can't put a .308 caliber bullet in this thing and make it work, because it would develop too much pressure. So this came out in 1938. Was used just like the other one by the Italians, the Finns, the Nazis used it also, because they captured France and Italy and other places. They were all over that region, not necessarily in capturing Italy, but they were all over Italy, and they were capturing stuff all over the place. So they got these after they had this. But the disadvantage of the 7.35 by 51 is that 128 grain bullet at 2,400 feet a second only develops about 1,700 foot-pounds of energy versus the 1,800 foot-pounds of energy with the 6.5. So they really didn't get a whole lot of anything other than just a slightly flatter trajectory. But the problem is the rifle they shot it in. They took the 6.5 Carcano rifle, which had adjustable sights, and it was pretty crude rifle to begin with. It's very utilitarian. Well, when they made the 7.35, they even made it more utilitarian. They had flip-up sights, 100 and 300 meter. The finish and fit were not near as good as what the 6.5 Carcano had. So it was really not liked that well. It worked, but it was crude. So they never really completely moved away from the 6.5 Carcano. Do I think they both work? Yeah, they did. But of the two cartridges, I think the 6.5 is a better cartridge. I think the rifle was a better rifle. It saw longer service. According to something I was reading, it says it saw service to almost up to like 1970 with some people. I'm like, wow. Interesting set of rounds. Now, go back to the 7.35 for a second. This reminds me a lot of what Remington tried to do with, it looks a lot like the 30 AR, except the 30 AR would be shorter than this. But if you took this round with a slightly smaller body size than the standard 708s and 308s and stuff like that, and loaded it with modern powders, put a 308 bullet in it, and loaded it to modern pressure, that'd be a dandy little light rifle cartridge. But sadly, since this has got the odd bullet size, the unobtainium case, thing for just about everything, nobody's going to come out with anything like that. Why? Because if they took this case and converted it to modern, and somebody accidentally stuck one in a Model 38, the rifle would detonate, because it's just not designed to handle this kind of, modern pressures in a case like this. But, I mean, the concept is still there, and you're seeing people use that, because if you think about it, that 7.35 is in the same flavor as far as energy and velocity as the 7.62 by 39, which was used by the Soviets in the SKS and the AK. Not that much dissimilar, and came out before it, but different rifle, different thought process, but still, it's in the same, energy range. Like I said, honestly think that the 6.5 is a better cartridge. I think they were, on par with the other nations that were out there. I think they were a little bit off when they tried to go to the 7.35. I know they wanted something more improved, but I don't think they got it. Yep. Interesting rifle, interesting round, interesting time, because there were so many things that changed and were developed that time. But I hope you've enjoyed this little conversation about the 6.5 Carcano and the 7.35 Carcano, and I hope you have a really great afternoon. Thanks.